Hello everyone! So as you might know, this was my first corner tank setup, which was really cool, but a lot of stuff happened and I wasn't happy, and yeah, this is the truth how it looked like for a while, because I removed everything and I was gonna change up the fish, and yeah, so this was horrible. However, I decided to do a rescape. So I emptied out all the gravel because I didn't want to have gravel in it, because I would like to have more of a lush setup with a lot of plants, so I chose scaper soil. Yeah, I wish it was sponsored, but it's not. So, however, I ordered a lot of plants and I planned where to put them. Because if you have a good plan which plants you're using first and foremost, in terms of which lighting you have, are you gonna use CO2, which substrate do you have, is it one with nutrients or is it one without, will you need root tablets, or yeah, a lot of things to think of. But I chose the scaper soil because it contains a lot of nutrients. It will buffer the pH in the aquarium and kind of keep it more stable, which is a good thing in the long run, because I mean, you want a stable aquarium because you might have some special fish, or not, just because of your fish's health. You would like to have it stable, and if it contains nutrients like the scaper soil that I chose, it's gonna provide a lot of nutrients for your different plants. So on this planting, I've gone a little bit maybe above my league, because as you see, the plant that I'm preparing now, it does require really good lighting and it could do some good with CO2. However, I'm not using CO2. I only have a light that I think it's sufficient. So this was a little bit of a try and fail thing. As you can see now, I'm preparing their plants by removing the growth medium, and you want to get it all away, because if the growth medium that they come in is like a rock wool thing, it contains a lot of nutrients, and you don't want those nutrients loose in your aquarium, because it's not good for your fish. It's not good for any livestock actually. And you don't want too much nutrition in your aquarium, because your plants is not going to be able to utilize it all, and that's going to just cause algae, especially in the beginning. They have grown emerged. So when I put them in the water, they will need to adjust to a submerged state, which they're not used to, so they're gonna have a meltdown and they're not gonna be able to use all the nutrients. And that's something about aquasoil as well, because it contains a lot of nutrients, and it's gonna be a lot of nutrients in the tank, maybe the first 2 weeks, so you will need to do often water changes, or else it's gonna turn like completely green, and that is no fun if you can prevent it. Another thing is that the aquasoil is gonna cause a little bit of pH fluctuations in the beginning, which is something you probably wanna avoid. So keep the tank empty and do frequent water changes for 2 weeks and you should be fine. Here you can see I'm planting the bacopa, which is a very slow growing plant that will turn out to be around 10 to 30 centimeters tall. It doesn't have any requirements for good lighting or CO2, so it's a very good starter plant, and it requires very little maintenance since it's so slow growing. However, it will take forever to grow. So if you're okay with that, it's your plant, because it's really good when you have low maintenance plant that can just basically be there forever and grow and grow and grow, which you basically won't see because it takes forever, as I said. So that was also a little bummer by this aquascape, because many of the plants I'm using are slow or medium growing, and it takes forever for the aquascape to look decent, in my opinion. As you saw there, I'm also cutting the roots for good growth and easier planting. So the Ludwigia is a red plant which has medium growth speed, and it will turn out to be around 10 to 30 centimeters tall, and it doesn't have any requirements for lights or CO2. However, the color will be better if you have good lighting. So I would say this is about as big as that plant is gonna get. It's a full grown plant. For the lobelia, It's a medium slow growing plant, and it will turn out to be 20 to 30 centimeters tall, and it doesn't either have requirements. The Rotala, it's also a medium growth plant, which will turn out to be 15 to 30 centimeters high, and it has low requirements. This will look a little bit different than it did when it came in the pot, because the leaves will change. The Cotonia, it's also a medium growth plant, and it will turn out to be around 10 to 20 centimeters tall, and it's a very low maintenance plant because it has low requirements and it should grow everywhere, but I wasn't particularly impressed. For some reason it didn't thrive in my aquarium at all, which is really weird, but that's sometimes the way it is. You can't always explain what happened or the causes for it, but yeah, I ended up moving it to another aquarium because the growth was terrible and it looked really bad. Didn't really survive the melting, I would say, because they will melt all of the plants. They took maybe 3 weeks to get back on their feet again. The Ludwigia, which is, as you can see there, has like really purpley red leaves, is a gorgeous plant, and I had quite good success with this one. I really like it because it's really bushy, it makes a lot of itself in the aquarium, and it's easy to plant, and you can replant it just by cutting it down, and it looks great. The color sticks really good and you don't have to really do much about it. So for the next one, it's the Pogostemon. Yeah, sounds like a Pokemon. It's a medium fast growing plant. It will turn out to be around 3 to 10 centimeters tall, and it requires medium lighting, so it does have requirements, and some say it does require a little bit of CO2, some people say it doesn't, so this was a gamble. And I mean, it's still alive in the tank, but it doesn't look nearly as good as it did when it came. However, the melting process on this one was really bad, and I was surprised to see it coming back up again after that. But it's a real cool looking plant. So the next one is the Sturgeona repens, which is a really versatile plant. It doesn't have any requirements. It turns out to be like 3 to 10 centimeters. It's a medium fast growing plant, and it's a really good carpeting for beginners because it grows a little bit slower, and it's really easy to basically just cut it off and replant the tops. And by using time and doing this, you will make sure that you have a thick carpet. The thickness of the carpet will, however, be dependent on the light. If you have good lighting, it will grow more wide. If you have really bad lighting, it will grow taller, so it won't be as wide as you might have hoped. But it's a really good start-off carpeting plant, and it's really manageable since it's not growing too fast. You can actually keep it in control without being super aquascaper person, which can maintain your plants like every day, because I don't do that. I do it once a week. That's gonna cut it. So this is what it looked like when I filled it with water, and I also added some lotus flowers, as you can see. So it is what it is. It looks really terrible with so little growth, but I mean, you could buy many plants that are fully grown and spend a lot of money, but I kind of wanted to have the experience of like letting it grow in and see where it went. And yeah, I thought that would be cool, but it takes forever. I wish I put in also some fast growing plants because it would have helped taking the nutrients away. However, this is 1 month after. So this is at the stage where the plants most of them have melted and are starting to regrow or look better. So this is like the overview of it. And yeah, as you can see, it takes a long time. It's not something that happened overnight. Some plants melted and died, and I just basically had to throw them away, and I had to remove some plants, but I have replanted and it looks good. I also stole some of the cutlings to put in another tank, so it could have looked better, but it didn't. And I must say my livestock in this tank, my neon tetras with the veil tail, they're looking quite nice. I really like them. They are really cute. And they really look good in the lighting. So at this point I will have to say excuse the lighting and the quality of the film, but this is actually some months after, so I think this is about the 3-month mark, and I've added some other plants because I was moving stuff and I just dumped other fish in there as well, and yeah. But you can see basically where it is, so the growing has kind of stopped, but I did have to adjust the lighting and the dosing of the Flourish Advance from Seachem, which will stimulate root growth, but I was getting an algae problem because the plants were growing so slow, so I wish I added fast growing plants just to take off like the top of the nutrients. So I hope you liked the video and I hope it made sense. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!